Alright, this time we're going to talk a bit about how to practice scales. And I'll start out by playing over the G major scale. Now I'll just play a little over it, just using the notes from the G major scale. As you see, I can move rather freely across the fretboard. And of course I've practiced a lot, and I'm playing the G major, and of course there's some keys that are that you play more often than other keys. I play G more than I play A flat, for instance. But the whole thing about this lesson is to give you some tips on how to practice the scales. And as you just heard, I try to practice my scales in a more like musical way, like I was performing my scale. And a good thing to get started is, of course, knowing the basic shape of the major scale. And the major scale consists of whole steps and half steps. So the major scale you can see as if I'm playing it on one string, the G major. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps, and then comes the octave. So it's 7 plus an octave, which is 8 steps. 7 different steps. So the first step is a whole note, whole step from G to A, and then from A to B, that's a whole note. So it's whole note, and then the half step from the third to the fourth. If I play it like the scale shape, you know. Whole note, half note. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then from the 4 to the 5, there's a whole step. From the 5 to the 6, there's a whole step. From the 6 to the 7, there's a whole step. And then from the 7 to the octave, there's a half step. So it's whole, half, whole, and a half. actually 2 half steps in the scale. Another way to look at the scale can also look at it as tetrachords. It's a fairly new concept to me, but it's actually a pretty good way of looking at the scale, because you see the major scale has these 7 different steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the octave 8. So let's just say we have 8 steps here. And the thing about tetrachords is a tetrachord is actually just a 4-note scale. And the major tetrachord, that means that major scale consists of 2 tetrachords and a lower and an upper. I'll show you the first one. The first one is lower. It's the first 4 notes of the major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you move your finger just 1 step here to the 5th and play the same shape again. You can see the shape is whole note, half step. Sorry. Whole step, half step. Or here. And then I just move my finger one whole step and start as on the 5th. Play the same shape again. Whole, half. In that way you only have to remember 4 notes. This fingering, for instance, here. And then you just move the whole thing up a note, up a whole step, play the same shape again. And that's actually easier than to learn like 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You just say 1, 2, 3, 4, move it, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it starts all over again when you come to the octave. And these tetrachords, as they are called, of course there's different fingerings for this pattern. How many different fingers are there? There are this one, we're starting on the 2nd finger, and also play on the same string, like this. Here I slide on my 1st finger. And then there's this shape, with the first 3 notes on the E string, and then we play the 4th on the A string. And lastly there's this shape, where we start on our pinky. Here I use the open string. Okay, so there's 4 different shapes. Let's try to play the scales using those 4 shapes.